And welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki, along with Meteorologist Justin Storm. Do we have Bridgette with us? Is she?
She's on phone.
She is on phone. Okay. All right. And Bridgette's at the airport. You are just one crazy traveling lady. How was Miami, Bridgette?
Orlando, and Orlando is great.
Okay.
And I'm on the air. I'm waiting to get on my plane to come on back home. I hear you guys are going to greet me with a bit of snow.
Well, you're getting back at the right time. At least you're getting back tonight, opposed to tomorrow. That is good news right there. Hopefully.
Well, before I tell you what I've been doing here, give me the details. When is this thing roll in? Because I'm not getting back in till late.
Okay, well, we'll start to see some snow coming in from the west after midnight. I think a better chance after about 2, 3 in the morning. And then the worst part of this storm looks to be about 6 a.m. through lunchtime tomorrow. And we've backed off on snow totals a bit, but again, it doesn't matter whether we have 3 inches, 4 inches, 5, or 6. Either way, when you factor in the winds with this storm coming in out of the southeast at 30 to 35, we're looking, and higher gusts possible, we're looking at just very difficult, if not impossible, travel for Saturday morning. But things will improve as we head towards evening. That's as winds lighten up, so that's good right there. But yeah, the heaviest snow looks to be in the far northern valley, let's say from Grand Forks westward through Devil's Lake, Minot area. I think we'll still see our fair share here in the FM area, but just I think the winds are going to be the biggest problem with this snow. So Saturday morning, just travel is not going to be recommended. As long as you're in before midnight, I think you're going to be okay, Bridgette.
That is my plan. Everybody give Delta a big thumbs up that they're going to get me home by midnight, so that means I can get back out to where I live shortly thereafter. That'd be awesome.
Exactly. So Justin, what's your take on this storm? Do they upgrade? We're in a winter storm watch right now for tonight into tomorrow. They upgrade this to a warning?
You asking me, will they or have they?
No, what do you think? Will they?
Oh, yeah, I think more than likely they're going to bump this up to a warning. Whether or not they keep that as a winter storm warning or a blizzard warning, I could see it going either way, but I would lean more on the blizzard warning than a winter storm warning, just due to the amount of wind. One thing we'll have to keep an eye on, though, is how wet is the snow going to actually be as it falls down. That could play a role in minimizing the amount of blowing snow, since temperatures will be quite a bit warmer than they have been in past snow systems.
Right.
But regardless, while it is falling, which will be most of tonight and the first half of tomorrow, it's going to be an absolute mess.
Yeah, so that's they already canceled the St. Patrick's Day parade downtown Fargo tomorrow. Probably a good idea. They're postponing that till next weekend, till next Saturday. So that's probably a good idea. You really don't want to be out driving in this storm tomorrow. And again, even if we get the low end of 3 inches, and I think we'll get more than that. But areas that get the low end of this, which would be around 3 inches, it's still, again, you factor in those high winds, and tomorrow morning is going to be an absolute mess. So if you have any travel plans, get those out of the way today, early tonight, or wait till tomorrow evening. I think by then the plow crews will have a chance to kind of play catch up, and we'll then have to kind of turn our attention to tomorrow night, because then as the system passes off into Lakes Country, our winds turn to the north, and they'll be pretty gusty, and then we'll have additional snow showers. I don't think we'll see a whole lot of additional snow out of it Saturday night into Sunday. But again, it's a wild card on how much blowing snow we'll see on the backside of the system. Do we warm up enough Saturday when the system kind of calms itself down, or we get in, if you will, the eye of the storm? Will we warm up enough to kind of settle the snow and maybe put a little crust on it as we head into the evening hours when temperatures drop off a bit? If that's the case, then that will hopefully limit the blowing snow Saturday night into Sunday. So that's kind of one of those wait and see how it pans out kind of deal. So we'll be watching it closely.
I tell you what, you guys, when it comes to that blowing snow, though, Dean, we have some areas I'm out in northwestern Cass County. you're talking about snow piles on the side of the road that are a good 6 feet tall or taller.
Right.
And whenever there's any sort of a breeze, we are seeing roads that get plugged. These are generally paved county roads, the side roads, the gravel roads. A lot of farmers having trouble getting out of their yards. So it would be nice if this would stay in place. And, hey, by the way, isn't spring coming, like March 21st? Shouldn't that be on our radar?
Well, technically.
By definition.
Yeah. Oh, and don't forget,
Well,
this weekend as well, and I hate this time of the year, spring forward, so, lock those clocks an hour forward Saturday night before you go to bed. So, yeah, we lose an hour's sleep.
no, we lose an hour of snow shoveling.
That's a great way to put it.
I like that analogy much, much better.
Dean, I wanted to go back to that point you made when the center of this storm pushes overhead into Saturday evening and early Saturday night. That might be a false sense of relief. And again,
Right.
It will kind of depend on how wet the snow is. Do I still think we're going to see blowing snow and drifting snow overnight into Sunday? I do. Just to what degree is that going to be? I'm not entirely sold on yet.
Right.
But when those winds do lighten up towards Saturday evening and Saturday night, conditions will be improving. But just remember, as we head after, well, I'd say more towards the early morning hours, pre-sunrise of Sunday, those winds do ramp back up. And out west of the valley, those winds will remain on the strong side throughout most of Saturday night. So although we see improving conditions here around the FM Metro Saturday evening, early Saturday night, off to our west, it will remain pretty nasty with those strong winds. And then those strong winds funnel into our area again Sunday morning.
Right. So,
I hate to even ask you guys, what is next week going to look like? Because I know you're going to all roll your eyes. I mean, I do have some travel plans to get to a number of events for folks. So who should I warn about my advancing storm system that comes with me?
well,
Well, let me ask, what day are you traveling?
So Tuesday will probably be the big one where I need to make some miles. So anything that looks rough for the coming week, I mean, we have the LRC. It's pretty accurate, guys.
I mean, outside of it just being kind of borderline windy on Tuesday, I think there's a system that may affect us going into Wednesday, maybe Thursday, but not real sure
Tuesday looks
on
okay.
the exact degree of that.
yeah, you should be okay. Like Justin said, a little windy, so maybe a little blowing snow on Tuesday, but temperatures just finally start to warm up a little bit towards midweek.
All right, somebody tell the highway road construction or the highway road grading guys, I'm just going to need open pathways. So weather's good. Now I just need good highways, guys. I asked for a lot.
There you go. Yeah, it's funny because the LRC has right around the 17th, somewhere in that time frame, and then maybe another one towards the end of the month, a couple more storms before the month is done, and a couple of the models trying to hint at something right around St. Paddy's Day of next week, as Justin was alluding to earlier. So we'll have to wait and see if that pans out. The whole theme this whole winter has been most of these storms go south, so that might definitely well be the case next week. But eventually those storms that have been going south, once that jet stream lifts north as we head into spring, that those storms that we're missing us south, more than likely going to hit us as we head into spring. But by then, we're warm enough for rain, so we'll take it. But boy, did you guys
Well,
see?
you know what?
Yeah.
It's not coming as far south as where I'm at in Florida, by the way, just so you know. It seems to be quite nice right
Oh,
here.
it's beautiful. Boy, did you guys see? I don't know if you saw what's going on in California. That they have flood emergencies out there right now. So all the snow that they had, now they're getting heavy rain on top of that in the foothills, just north and northwest of LA. So they've got some real flooding problems out there. I'll tell you, it's either feast or famine. First, they're dealing with severe drought, and now they've got more than enough moisture out there, and that continues to just plague areas of California. So, and again, this is going to be great news come spring and summer because the drought conditions will be alleviated. But as you transition, we're going to be dealing with a lot of flooding out into California. And just today released, I guess we could finally put a fork in La Nina. It's done. So back-to-back years of La Nina, and now it looks like we may transition into an El Nino pattern, which again is just part of the puzzle, atmospheric puzzle, with the LRC being the central piece. But once we start getting into El Nino conditions, that usually does not bode well in terms of usually that gives a lot of rainfall to the West Coast. And boy, well, like I said, it's either feast or famine out there. And Bridgette, how did the trade show go down there?
So I'm at Commodity Classic. That's where I'm returning from. This is the largest indoor trade show. This was held in Orlando, Florida. It is a massive amount of products and inputs to go look at. This is a place where farmers pay to attend. This isn't just walk in off the street and pick up your free yardstick and Tootsie Roll. This is you are paying a registration fee, or you are making the effort to get to this location because you're seeing the newest and latest in machinery and equipment. I took some pictures. I sent one to Justin of the newest John Deere combine because I'm sort of a fan. Also, Case has their new planters here. I saw the Fendt tractors and sprayer. There's just an amazing amount of equipment to take a look at. And if you have any input questions for your farm, let's say you're curious about seed or one of the new biologicals that are on the market, whether it comes to fertilizer, seed treatments, etc. Perhaps you want to talk to someone directly, to the manufacturer, and you could also pick up some information on carbon credits, cover crops. Mr. Duchenel, he is the head of United States FSA, the Farm Service Agency, Zach Duchenel. He was there to speak today. Tom Vilsack was there. He's the USDA secretary. There was a lot going on here. It was really great to see all of these folks attending sessions and seminars and then also participating in their commodity group programs. So it was worth it to be a part of it. Glad to do that. So hopefully when we bring on our guests, we'll do that next. That is Katelyn Landeis. She's with NDSU. We're going to talk about safety equipment on the farm. Katelyn maybe has some things that folks at Commodity Class will see from her.
Looks like we're just kind of starting to get Bridgette to cut out there, but as she was alluding to, Katelyn will be joining us here next on Weather and Ag in Focus. We'll be talking a little about farm tractor on the farm safety. And if you want to join in the conversation, feel free to do so. Ask a question, or if you have a question or maybe a concern, 701-293-9000. Again, the phone number is 701-293-9000. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Can you imagine a stress-free Sunday with family, friends, fun, and great food? You can have it when you make Barron's your new Sunday brunch headquarters. I'm telling you, it's a brunch like no other. First of all, customizable waffle bar. The kids will love it. Fresh scrambled eggs, thick cut bacon, all your favorites. Plus, while Mama sips on a mimosa, the kids can wear themselves out in the arcade at Kingpins. It's a great start to a stress-free Sunday. Mention My Brunch Headquarters and receive 20% off Sunday brunch at Barron's. So make your Sunday stress-free, filled with great food, no cleanup, and most importantly, where family, friends, fun, and food come together for brunch at Barron's. Located off Highway 81 and 52nd Avenue within Kingpins. Go to brunchatbarons.com. That's brunchatbarons.com for details. And don't forget to mention My Brunch Headquarters for 20% off. And experience your stress-free Sunday at brunchatbarons.com today.
The Jay Thomas Show.
One of the deals was at the Blind Center, we get a weekly trip to Target, and my friend Bob says, hey, you want to go out and enjoy the fresh air outside? Standing out there with Deacon and my white cane and trying to drink my coffee, and the next time I took a drink of my coffee, there's dollar bills and change in my coffee cup. No! They thought I was a panhandler.
Oh, no! Really?
Yeah, I think it ruined my coffee, but at least I made enough I could go in and get a fresh cup.
The Jay Thomas Show on WDAY.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hello there. My name is Seychelle, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is the punch of flavors that's unlike any other. You get the crispy tenderness of the chicken and that hint of sourness from the pickles. Ta-da!
Hey, I'm Juan, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is you're going to get chicken that's crispy, golden, and juicy. This is the gold standard of chicken sandwiches.
Order the original Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Non-attorney paid spokesperson. Could your house go into foreclosure? Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Does it seem like the bank has no interest in helping you save your home? And you feel like you have nowhere to turn for help? Then we have good news for you. Foreclosure Protection Services can help save your home as they specialize in foreclosure assistance. That's all they do. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, being threatened with foreclosure, have been denied a loan modification, or been the victim of a predatory loan, it's critical that you call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-926-1701. Their network of attorneys and their agents are available to speak to you now. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, Foreclosure Protection Services can help stop the foreclosure process. Call today before it's too late. New laws are in effect that may save your home. Call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-926-1701. 800-926-1701. That's 800-926-1701.
Spring has sprung, and you know what that means, Fargo-Moorhead. Time to start cleaning up after old man winter. And what better way to kick off spring season than fixing or replacing your broken or damaged windshield? The team at Glass Doctor Fargo-Moorhead, they're concerned about your well-being, so hurry in. Say hello to crystal clear view of spring potholes and construction signs. And lucky you, Glass Doctor won't break the bank, so you can still buy groceries. Glass Doctor of Fargo-Moorhead. Don't let those chips and cracks become a pain in your glass.
Call the Glass Doctor, will fix your paint.
You did it again, Fargo-Moorhead. Thanks for voting Fix It Forward Auto Care the best auto care of Red River Valley 3 years in a row, including the categories of Best Tire Retailer and Best Customer Service. Plus, Fix It Forward Ministry won Best Local Nonprofit. We're honored and we promise to continue serving our great community, providing you the best auto care experiences. Fix It Forward Auto Care, the name you trust for car repair.
Fix It Forward Auto Care.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Want to thank everybody for joining us. Bridgette, myself, and Justin Storm. And we have our guest today is Katelyn. Katelyn, I hope I pronounced this right. Landeis? Is that correct, Katelyn?
Landeis. Yep,
Landeis,
you got it.
Okay. And Katelyn, tell people what you do.
Yeah, so I am the extension agent in Grand Forks County. Agriculture and Natural Resources is my title.
Great. And what does your job entail exactly for people that don't know?
Yeah, so NDSU Extension, we are part of the Land Grant University, and so there's a county extension office in nearly every county in Grand Forks, and so we are an extension of the university. We provide research and education and programming in different areas across the state. So working in agriculture and natural resources, I work primarily with farmers and the local public on anything related to agriculture and ag issues. And so that can be something from pesticide programming to farm safety to working with youth and 4-H projects and crops and animals, livestock, a number of things.
So, Katelyn, can you explain to me, you had something going on here when we were at the International Crop Expo in Grand Forks a couple weeks ago, and it had to do with farm and safety kits. And most farmers, we kind of laugh a little bit that the safety kit we have are blue shop towels and black electrical tape. Just wrap that up, it'll be fine, right? So what can you tell us about the kits that you've been building for farm, and what might be going into those, and what was your reason for wanting to get those together?
Sure. Yeah. So like you just said, Bridget, we did put together some farm first aid kits. I do have the box here in front of me. It was a pilot program. I worked on this with Angie Johnson out of Fargo. She's the Farm and Ranch Safety Coordinator. We coordinated this project together. And we were working with the County Farm Bureau Board as well. And so at the Crop Expo in Grand Forks on February 22nd, we held our first program where we actually gave these boxes out to farmers who were interested in them, and also put on a whole program that went with it. So this program started almost a year ago with the Farm Bureau Board. The local board here in the county approached me asking for a collaboration. They wanted to do something related to farm safety, do some sort of promotion. And so I contacted Angie Johnson and asked her, if she wanted to help me out with something. And we just started brainstorming and trying to come up with what to do. And it ended up leading to these boxes, these farm safety kits. And so these were all of the items in here. The whole inventory was handpicked by Angie and I. We kind of went through this whole list of items that we included and why, and we kind of had a reason why we thought they would be good for rural farmers, people working in rural areas in general. So you think about somebody in like a tractor or in a farm shop, and who knows how far away they are from the nearest hospital, what that response time might be for an ambulance. So just really being able to help themselves, or maybe somebody else who's on the farm with them who's had an incident, being able to help them respond in a timely manner. So the kits themselves, we've got a lot of different items in there, but we wanted to not just provide these kits and just say, here you go, here's your farm safety kit. So we ended up coming up with a whole program. And so we've got a Stop the Bleed kit, which includes a tourniquet, and we had Sanford Health come in, Jamie Lindbergh with the trauma unit, and help teach how to stop the bleed, how to use a tourniquet, and just how life-saving that can be. So that was one thing that we thought was most important for including in these kits, is knowing how to use that tourniquet. And so some other injuries that we focused on was amputations and caring for that. So for that, we kind of just created like a little card to help walk someone through if you do end up in that situation where you've got an amputated body part. Maybe you can't always save it. We don't know. Only the medical professionals probably working in that situation would know if it's something that can be reattached. But having instructions on how to handle that might help get you the best success that you can, I guess. So we thought that was important, and then including items in there with that, like trash bags, ice packs in case you don't have access to ice, just something to help keep things cool. And of course, those can be used for a number of other things as well. And then another couple of other items that we thought we would address for education was burns, handling burns, and how to use a splint in case you have some type of break or injury, or that type of thing. So we had All True Health Systems also help us with this education, and so they came in and they helped teach that burn piece and using a splint. And so these are all items, again, that we included in the kits, and then we helped people learn how to use them.
So, Katelyn, this is more than just some Band-Aids and first aid cream, right? I mean, this is really, especially if you have a farm operation with a number of people involved, there can be some pretty traumatic injuries. So with kits like this and the safety for them, is there a cost associated with it? Are you continuing to do meetings in the region for folks to learn how to use those items and then also pick up their kits? What does that look like?
Yeah, that's a really great question. And so there was a cost, of course, of putting these together, and that's where the local Farm Bureau really stepped up and were very active partners, and also helping with the program that day, but providing some of the financial support to sponsor these kits so we can actually just give these kits away to people who attend the programs. And Yeah, we weren't really sure what the first day was going to look like putting this together. It's a huge program. It required a lot of effort in coordinating things, trying to make it all fit into the right time, especially at a show like the Crop Expo where people are in and out and, who kind of knows what your day is going to look like. So we are still exploring more time and where we can do these, continue to do education on providing these kits. And so we do still have a few left over, and we would like to use them. We don't have anything in the plans yet. I think we're still kind of all recovering from the February meeting, excuse me.
Well, like Bridgette was mentioning, oh no, that's fine. Like Bridgette was mentioning, this isn't just Band-Aids and some other stuff in this kit. I mean, this is... Sorry, I clicked a button. I muted myself there. I'm really glad that that's not what it is, because there's injuries that are so much worse than just getting a cut or scraping yourself. And at that point, a Band-Aid is only going to do so much. So I'm glad to see that you included these things for more serious injuries like a potential amputation. We hear so many stories of people getting their arms stuck inside of some form of equipment, or their hand gets stuck and it either gets smashed or completely taken off. So that was a really big thing that I was glad that you included. But we're going to hit bottom of the hour. When we come back, I want to know more about these kits and what is the feedback that you've been hearing from people that you've given them to, maybe people that have had to use them, and also more on if people want to get more information on this, or how they could even get one for that matter. So when we come back, we'll tackle those questions and a few more. And if you have questions and you want to join in the conversation, feel free to do so. 701-293-9000. Again, that phone number to get in contact with us here at the studio, 701-293-9000. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Oh, can you imagine a stress-free Sunday with family, friends, fun, and food? You can have it when you make Barron's your new Sunday brunch headquarters. Experience a brunch like nowhere else. Your kids will love the customizable waffle bar, fresh scrambled eggs, thick cut bacon, and much more. Plus, while Mama sips on a mimosa, you can wear out the kids in the arcade at Kingpin's.
For a stress-free Sunday, mention My Brunch Headquarters and receive 20% off brunch at Barron's. Make your Sunday stress-free, filled with great food, no cleanup, and most importantly, where family, friends, fun, and food come together for brunch at Barron's. Located off Highway 81 and 52nd Avenue within Kingpins. Go to brunchatbarons.com. Again, brunch at BARONS.com. And don't forget to mention My Brunch Headquarters for 20% off and experience your stress-free Sunday at brunchatbarons.com.
Foston Tri-Co-op is hiring an agronomy manager. Must have sales and agronomy experience, able to sell crop protection, fertilizer, and chemicals. College degree in agronomy or equal experience is preferred. Enjoy competitive salary and benefits including health, long-term disability, dental, life insurance, HAS, paid vacation, and retirement match and profit sharing. Email resume to jen.howard@fostoncoop.com or call 218-435-6919 and ask for Brent. Foston Tri-Co-op, hiring an agronomy manager, and it could be you.
Winter can be hard on a vehicle, especially in Minnesota and North Dakota. That's why servicing your vehicle is so important. At Jiffy Lube of Fargo, they make it easy for you with their signature service oil change. They'll check, change, inspect, and fill essential fluids, helping your vehicle make it through these cold, harsh winters. Locally owned and operated with 3 convenient Fargo locations. You never need an appointment. And at Jiffy Lube of Fargo, they can help with batteries, tire rotation, along with light bulb and wiper blade replacement. Jiffy Lube of Fargo, where you can do more in a jiffy.
Olivet Lutheran Church in Fargo invites you to join us for worship Sunday mornings at 8:30 and 10:30 and Wednesday evenings at 6. During this time of Lent, our theme is No Greater Love, where we will reflect on God's love for us through the death of Jesus on the cross. Our sanctuary is also open Wednesdays during lunch for individual reflection and prayer, where you can light a candle, leave a prayer at the cross, or simply be still. For more information and to watch all of our services online, go to olivet.org.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota compact tractors. Rated #1 in durability and owner experience. They're designed for easy operation and feature performance-matched attachments. Right now, put 0 down and get 0% APR for up to 72 months. Plus, save up to $800 on select equipment. Now through June 30th. See Acme Equipment for full disclaimer. See the full line of Kubota at Acme Equipment on the I-29 Frontage Road, Fargo.
Are you looking for an event photographer? Then look no more. Urban Toad Media offers a wide range of event photography from corporate and commercial events, private parties, press coverage, and more. Urban Toad Media understands the importance of capturing every element of your event in a professional manner. They can work in any environment and have an eye for spotting the special moments, whether it's a business event or private celebration. Contact Urban Toad Media today to book your event at urbantoadmedia.com.
It's the season truck buyers wait all year for, Chevy truck season at Pucklet Chevrolet GMC. We finally have a large selection of Chevy trucks that are now available with special event offers like the new 23 Chevy Silverado 1500. And now is a great time to order your new Chevy or check out our new inventory arriving daily at Pucklet Chevrolet GMC in Valley City or PuckletValleyCity.com. Tradition, values, and family ties. Chevy, find new roads.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for rejoining us. 1:37 this afternoon. We're speaking with Katelyn Landeis, NDSU Extension, on farm safety. And we're talking about these safety kits that Katelyn and others have been putting together. And they're pretty extensive kits. And for those that had missed it, Katelyn was kind of going through some of the things that are included in there. And some of the big things that I'm really glad to see were, tourniquets, amputation kits, how to, in the need, protect a limb that has been removed from the body, burns and burn protection, and so much more. If you want to join in on the conversation, ask Katelyn a question about these kits or anything else, feel free to do so. 701-293-9000. And Katelyn, I wanted to know, what's been the feedback from these kits? Are people glad that you're going, you're taking that extra step to put these together to help educate people? Because a lot of people are like, oh, it's never going to happen to me, and then it ends up happening to them or somebody that they know. What's the feedback from people on these intensive kits that you're putting together?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I'm glad you asked that. And you had asked before the break about people and if they've used these kits as well. And so the feedback that we got initially that day after the program was very positive, and more ideas on what we could include in the future if we did this again, including maybe some CPR training or something along those lines in with the training as well. So the first feedback we've gotten was very positive, and it wouldn't be an extension program if we didn't have some type of evaluation with it. But in this case, I think we were really intentional with what we put together for an evaluation. So we had asked each individual who gets a kit to fill out a contact sheet and then give us a short response on what they valued with the training. And so part of that is so that we can follow up with them maybe post-season and just ask, did they have to use those kits? And hopefully the answer isn't anything serious, but it helps us follow along and see if they did end up needing to use any of the kit contents. And then we also included in the kit an inventory log and a communication sheet. And we did that because we were hoping that would at least start sparking some conversation with other people on their farm. Most people aren't farming alone. They've got either family members or friends, neighbors, or somebody working with them. So sparking that conversation of what's in the kit and helping to teach others that kit is on their farm, what's in there, and maybe just a short lesson on how to use some of those things and what they maybe learned at the program.
And Katelyn, should these kits be used on farm equipment in addition to the personal protective equipment?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if there's ever, depending on what you're working with, you should always be using your personal protective equipment, whether that's chemicals and there's something that's required, or if you're just working around machinery and you have your closed-toed shoes and long sleeve shirt or, whatever's required for the task you're doing.
And what kind of response have you had from the ag community? Are they like, we don't need this, we know what to do, or we already have, the first aid kits here? What's the response been?
It's been very positive. I haven't heard a lot of people blow it off or anything. Some people do say that they've got their first aid kits, but I think there's still been a lot of interest in people wanting them. I think sometimes the first response to having the education behind it seems a little unnecessary, but that day when we went through it, I heard nothing but positive feedback. Like I'm glad that we had all through there to unwrap that splint and at least just kind of give us a lesson on how to use it. It's nothing groundbreaking, but it's just something that maybe will provide a little bit more comfort in a time of need. If you were to actually need to open this up, you have some background knowledge on what it is and how to make it the best successful splint or whatever you get into.
So Katelyn,
so yeah,
mostly
positive
for me
feedback.
would be, when you're talking to folks, are you going to be able to start making more of them? I know you said you don't have anything planned yet for some additional workshops. What if there's someone out there listening and says, I'd really like to partner with this. Maybe I'm an agribusiness. I'd like more of these kits. I'd like to hand them out to my farmers, and I'd like you to put on, the how-to workshop. Would you recommend some steps that they take in order to get that accomplished?
Yeah, of course, just please reach out to our office. You can always contact me at the Grand Forks County Extension Office, and we can try to arrange something. But we are looking forward to trying to do more of this programming if there's an interest or a need for it. And of course, we don't want to just hand out kits. That's kind of taking away from the educational aspect of it. So we are so happy to partner on making more kits and putting together a short presentation. And I think it only takes maybe 60 to 90 minutes of time to put together a brief presentation on this. It doesn't have to be a full day of training either. It just kind of would depend on what somebody is looking for that.
Additionally, I think of these as great backup. If you're in the field and you aren't close to an ambulance, even if you are a local first responder, these could be helpful to some folks, placed strategically in your neighborhood, so to speak, so that folks have them when they need them, because none of us planned for an accident, but I do know that many of our rural first responders can already be some distance from an ambulance, and anything that's closer to being ready to be used, I think, is pretty important. So maybe that's another place that people would want to think about using them, Katelyn, is just making sure they've got them locally for those injuries in case you're a distance from the ambulance.
Yeah, that's a great point, Bridgette. I would completely agree. I think you could have a first aid kit anywhere that you think would be necessary. And like you said, even in those communities that maybe are away from an ambulance or a first responder, it's not a bad spot to have a first aid kit.
One of the things I go ahead, Bridgette.
Tell her, Justin, if you'd like and you decide that you have too many, just let us know. We'll happily give some away for you on air and have people connect with you as to how they can use them.
Sure, sounds good.
One of the things I really like about this first aid kit, and for those watching, you've already seen, but for those that are listening strictly on radio, you hear all of these different things. We got burn kits, we have amputation kits, tourniquet kits, and a few other things, including ice packs and other forms of bandages to stop bleeding if need be. Is the size of this first aid kit. You hear those and you're thinking, oh man, this thing must be big. It's going to take up the whole back seat in my truck. It's going to have to go in the pickup. This is a small little kit, and it looks like something that's, I don't know, maybe the size of a notebook and then 6 inches deep, maybe something like that. Katelyn, maybe you can hold that up when we pan back over to you. But this is something that could easily just slide underneath the seat in a truck, right next to the seat in your combine and your tractor. It's not really something that's going to eat up a lot of space for the amount of benefit you can get out of it if you need to use one.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So yeah, these kits, they're about 9 by 9, and I think 3 inches depth. And if we were to do this again or make new kits, I think we would go for something slightly bigger. We had a change in our program last minute, and the tourniquet doesn't fit in it very well with the rest of the kit contents. And so we would maybe go for like a 13-inch box, 13 by 9 instead of 9 by 9, but still it's a very small box. It's just the standard first aid kit size that, yeah, like you said, can fit right underneath a seat or kind of in between seats. It doesn't take up a lot of room.
And with the feedback you've been getting from this, what has been some of the recommendations of something to maybe add, or maybe something that wasn't quite needed, although I'm sure everything in there will have a good use to it? Is there anything that people have reached out to you saying, hey, you should consider adding this to this kit for the next round of education you go through?
Oh, yeah, that's a really good question. I think the CPR training was the main one that sticks out in my mind. That's something that people could be educated in. Just like when we did the Stop the Bleed, you can actually get certified in Stop the Bleed. And because we did this in such a short time, those who went through the tourniquet training didn't actually get certified, but they still have some knowledge on how to use a tourniquet. They just don't have that proper certification. And I think that was kind of the idea behind the CPR as well. I mean, you can get CPR certified, but that doesn't mean that you can't learn how to do CPR without having a certification. So that was the main one that sticks out in my mind as one that was recommended to do in the future that I think would be a good addition.
So, Katelyn, I've got two things to ask you. And one is, would you be willing to create a sheet for us that lists what's in the kit? So if someone wanted to create their own to have it ready for spring season this year, we could post that on our Weather and Ag Facebook page, and people would be able to just print that off and find those items themselves if they wanted to create their own kit. Would you be willing to do that for us?
Yeah, absolutely. We have inventory logs already made, so I can just shoot one of these over to you, and you can have it.
That'd be awesome, because then again, people can find that on our Facebook page, Weather and Ag in Focus. Take the moment to subscribe to that if you would, please, folks, because then all of this information, every time we have guests and links, we can always post them to that page. And as we wrap up here, Katelyn, can you let people know how can they find you if they want to reach out and ask more questions?
Yeah, so you can find me at the Grand Forks County Extension Office. Our phone number is 701-780-8229, 701-780-8229. And then my contact information is on our website, the Grand Forks County Extension, NDSU Extension website. My email is just katelyn.landis@ndsu.edu.
Well, that's awesome. And Katelyn Landis, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time. Folks, we're going to catch up with the American Ag Network and take a look at our markets next.
Life is short. Work somewhere wonderful. Join CCRI and make a difference every day in the lives of individuals with disabilities. Flexible schedules make it the perfect opportunity for students. The award-winning culture will make you feel appreciated and supported by everyone around you. No experience necessary. CCRI will provide all the training needed to be successful and comfortable in your new position. If you're looking for a career that leaves you with memories that will last a lifetime, join their team at CCRI. Visit ccrimorehead.org to apply today.
What do eyewear and weather have in common? Join us for the Aspire Optical Eye on the Sky weekly weather forecast to find out. Each Tuesday morning, Dean Wysocki, Justin Storm, and myself, Ashley Freeborn, owner of Aspire Optical, will bring you the 7-day forecast.
You never know where we'll be or how it will be presented, but we promise to bring you the most accurate forecast this side of the Red River.
And learn how you can save big on eyewear from Aspire Optical.
Watch the Aspire Optical Eye on the Sky weekly weather forecast on our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages.
Trust us, this is weather and eyewear like you've never seen.
Can you imagine a stress-free Sunday with family, friends, fun, and great food? You can have it when you make Barron's your new Sunday brunch headquarters. I'm telling you, it's a brunch like no other. First of all, customizable waffle bar. The kids will love it. Fresh scrambled eggs, thick cut bacon, all your favorites. Plus, while Mama sips on a mimosa, the kids can wear themselves out in the arcade at Kingpins. It's a great start to a stress-free Sunday. Mention My Brunch Headquarters and receive 20% off Sunday brunch at Barron's. So make your Sunday stress-free, filled with great food, no cleanup, and most importantly, where family, friends, fun, and food come together for brunch at Barron's. located off Highway 81 and 52nd Avenue within Kingpins. Go to brunchatbarons.com. That's brunchatbarons.com for details. And don't forget to mention My Brunch Headquarters for 20% off. And experience your stress-free Sunday at brunchatbarons.com today.
Watching the markets as we head to the weekend. You're listening to the American Ag Network. of Jesse Allen with this market update. Talking now with Arlen Suderman, Chief Commodities Economist at StoneX, as we broadcast live at Commodity Classic. Arlen, looking at the grains headed to the weekend. I know Thursday, a pretty rough day of the trade. It looks like the dollar collapsing a little bit here today, trying to be supportive to this grain market. What are you seeing there?
Yeah, I told our customers at the beginning of the week that this is going to be a week that's really headline driven. The headline risks are going to be great, and that's really how it's played out. We're seeing that again today with the jobs report and how Wall Street interprets that jobs report. They're focused on some of those key elements that they think that will reduce the Fed needing to raise interest rates quite as aggressively. So we're seeing Treasury yields plummet, and therefore the dollar is breaking hard. But we did a lot of chart damage in the grain and oilseeds already this week. So we're seeing a general trend toward weakness based on that chart weakness and the damage we already did this week. But the weak dollar is helping to reduce the losses. That's about the most positive thing I can say at this point. We did see a little bit more strength in wheat and some in corn, as wheat's been trying to hold corn up. That's more of a technical bounce that we're seeing in wheat than anything else. Not a whole lot more in the market other than that. But soybeans, we started to show some toppiness on those charts. Like, we've already traded the Argentine drought. It's ignored the new news that has been very supportive. And I think that's a warning sign for soybean markets. And so they've been breaking lower.
Once again, that's Arlen Suderman of StoneX live from the trade show floor at Commodity Classic 2023. A few market numbers here. Corn is up slightly. Beans are down moderately. The wheat market up slightly. Crude oil up 26 cents a barrel, 75.98, with hogs up moderately and cattle down moderately. You're listening to the American Ag Network. That's a check of the market trade. I'm Jesse Allen reporting.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. I want to thank you for joining us this afternoon. I want to thank Katelyn as well for joining us. That's always a good thing to have those safety kits, along with knowing CPR too. The whole tourniquet thing is great. That's awesome. But, CPR, if you can get a class to take on those, I think everybody should be required to know CPR. It's always a good thing to have, especially, you're out on the farm and, you're if you're with somebody and it might be a while before that ambulance gets there. So that's absolutely great to have. Just wanted to pass along, our winter storm watch has now been upgraded to a blizzard warning. So a blizzard warning is now in effect for later tonight and into all the way through Saturday night. That may be extended. The Weather Service is not sure if they're going to extend it beyond Saturday night due to the fact that not sure of the extent of the blowing snow. But yeah, a blizzard warning has now been issued for the entire FM area. Further east into Lakes Country, that translates into a winter storm warning. So again, the heart of this storm coming in here as we head into tomorrow and also into the day on tomorrow morning is going to be the worst part of it, lasting through early afternoon. Although the blizzard warning goes all the way through Saturday night, we'll see a lull in the action around late afternoon, early evening. But don't let that kind of fool you, as Justin was saying earlier, as the winds are going to ramp back up out of the north. So travel just not recommended. It's pretty much that simple. As we'll continue to see deteriorating conditions after midnight tonight. So just good night to if you have evening plans, Friday night date night. Just like your parents used to tell you when you were younger, make sure you're home early enough so you can beat the weather.
Well, and like you guys said, the majority of what this is coming in is going to start towards midnight. It was when things were going to move in, but we can see winds picking up. So that was going to be probably our major factor, right, is all the winds with the snow we already have.
Exactly, and it's not so much the amount of snow we're going to get. We'll get 3 to 6 inches is what it looks like right now. There's a couple models trying to give us more, and there's always banding of the snow. There's also
My God. First it was polar vortex, then it was bombogenesis, then bomb cyclone. Now the new one is thunder snow. What the hell is thunder snow?
So I don't think we'll quite have to worry about thunder snow, but we will have to worry about.
It's been a hot minute since I've seen that.
Yeah, that's tough to get. But think.
It's been a coon's age.
Has it?
It has been.
Think of how a thunderstorm. When you hear thunder in the summertime, you're under a thunderstorm. Remember how heavy that rainfall is under a thunderstorm. We'll translate that into snow. Anytime you get thunder snow, you are looking at snowfall rates of about 2 inches per hour. Now, we're going to have snowfall rates Saturday morning in and around about the inch per hour going for a few hours on Saturday morning. So that's going to add up pretty quickly. So, again, if you're just joining us, a blizzard warning is in effect for overnight tonight and into the day on Saturday. It's just not going to be pretty as we head into Saturday. And again, it's not that we're going to get a ton of snow. We could get up to 6 inches. I think 6 inches will probably be the cap on this, although there's some models trying to give us more. It's the wind along with it. First out of the southeast at about 30 to 35, gusting to 40, and even higher in some areas. And that's going to pose a problem on those east-west roads. And then behind the system, Saturday night into Sunday, we whip those winds in out of the north-northwest. And again, that's going to pose problems, especially on the east-west roads. But even north-south on 29, it's not going to be pretty tomorrow.
Well, a lot of the side roads too, Dean, like Bridgette was mentioning earlier at the top of our show, even with a 10 to 15 mile per hour wind that we've had over the last two days, that's been enough to cause a lot of impact on the side roads, the county roads, a lot of loose snow out in open country area that's usually shouldn't be blown around, but because it's such a light and fluffy variety, it's been drifting over the roads, and traffic and the sun have been heating that up, melting it, and a lot of those roads have just been turning into sheets of ice. And well, that snow is unfortunately going to kick up into the overnight before the falling snow really picks up overnight into tomorrow morning.
Right. Exactly. And, and like you just said, Justin, even though it won't be snowing, so they're starting the blizzard warning at 9 tonight, and it won't even be snowing then, but the winds will start to pick up then. And now we'll see, because we're right around the freezing mark, and a lot of this snow is kind of settled. So we'll see how much of this is going to be available to actually be blown around once that temperature drops below the freezing mark. The sun goes down. But I think, we'll have problems before midnight, but the falling snow not until after midnight.
Right.
So get home early tonight, kids.
You got any
I'm going to try, Dad.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. I'm the one
Dean, are
that's
you going to
the
be out and
problem
about?
here.
Am I going to be out and about tonight? No, you know what? There's a Netflix special I just started watching last night, so I'll be at home watching that and just kind of chilling on the couch. Tonight's a relax night.
You see, what series did you pick up?
Oh, the MD is it MD 370, the missing Malaysian airliner? It's a three-part series. Mm-hmm. It talks about the disappearance of the airline, and it puts you got to watch it, Justin. You're the one with the tinfoil hat. You will watch this with a tinfoil hat, and it gives some really crazy conspiracy theories on what happened with that jet. It's pretty darn good.
I do like my Reynolds.
Yes.
So maybe I'll have to get that from you here after the show. But that's going to wrap it up for us today on Weather and Ag in Focus. We thank you for listening today. Remember to stay safe over this weekend, and we'll be back 1 to 2 o'clock on Monday. The Jay Thomas Show.
The best of
the Jay Thomas Show is coming up next.
970 WDAY AM and 90 FM, Fargo Moorhead.